We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a video about a new game mode in Apex Legends called Wildcard. I absolutely love Wildcard. I have been playing this game mode exclusively since it came out in the last patch. To give you an idea, in the last season, I played 400 games of ranked and I got up to Diamond 3, and that's kind of where I stopped. And I track all of my games, so I know exactly how much I'm playing. Once they released Wildcard, I have literally played 19 games of ranked this season, and I've been focusing almost exclusively on Wildcard. I've loved this game mode so much that I decided I think it deserves its own video and perhaps its own tutorial as well. So what is Wildcard? Wildcard is a new, high-octane, permanent game mode that is focused on gunplay skill, decision-making, and movement. This game mode is not about rotations or high-level strategy or tactics or inventory management or do we engage, do we disengage, like do we third party. None of that. It's literally just get in there and frag out. In the past, during a game of ranked battle royale, if the jump master hot dropped, it drove me nuts. I hated hot drops because it was just a gamble. Did you get a gun or didn't you get a gun? If you didn't get a gun, you just lose 65 points. If you did, maybe you survive and get enough frags to break even. But in Wildcard, it's the exact opposite. If the jump master doesn't hot drop, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are we not dropping at Cage? Why are we not dropping at Relic? Where are you going? Like, if you're not trying to get into the action immediately, why are you playing Wildcard? You should be playing regular Battle Royale or Ranked. The entire point of the mode is to drop as hot as possible so you can start fighting other players. Now that you know what the mode is, let's talk about the differences between Wildcard and regular Battle Royale. The biggest difference between traditional Battle Royale and Wildcard is obviously going to be the respawn system. The way it works is very similar to how Resurgence works in Call of Duty. If you've ever played that mode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The way it works is that if anyone on your team is alive, you will respawn into the game based on a short timer. In the beginning of the game, it's a really short timer, like 3 or 4 seconds, and then you're back. In the end of the game, it can be very, very long. It can be 45 seconds, 30 seconds, or whatever. And we're going to talk about the respawn system here later on in the video, but that's the biggest thing, is that you can come back after you die. And believe me, you're going to die a lot in this game mode, which is another big difference between Battle Royale. Usually in Battle Royale, if you die once, that's it. Yeah, there are plenty of exceptions to that. You can be brought back, etc. But in Wildcard, you can come back. The next biggest difference between Wildcard and traditional Battle Royale are the guns. The guns come fully kitted. That means that they already have all of the attachments on them. So you don't have to go and look for barrel stabilizers or magazines or whatever. They come ready to go. You just pick it up and start shooting it, man. Like, it's great. The only thing that you can actually change on your gun are optics. So if you are running an alternator and you like it better with a 2x, you just find a 2x, throw it on, and keep going. The next difference between the two modes is inventory management. In traditional Battle Royale, inventory management is a thing. You have a limited inventory and you have to decide what you're going to carry with you. How much ammo am I going to take? How many heals am I going to take? How many grenades am I going to take? Etc. In Wildcard, there is no inventory management. You literally do not even have to open your inventory at all. Like, all of it's done for you, and you don't have to do anything with your inventory. In fact, you don't even really pull it up at all during the game mode, period. Like, I very rarely pull it up. The next difference is going to be how health and shields work. In traditional Battle Royale, you have an Evo shield, you deal damage, you play the game, it charges up, you get more shields based on how well you're doing, so you'll eventually go from 50 shield to 75 to 100. If you get a red shield, you can get to 125. In Wildcard, everyone has 100 health, everyone has 75 shield. That's it. It's simple and it's easy. Your armor doesn't charge up in that way when you deal damage. Like, you can bring your armor back with cells, but no one charges their armor. Everyone has blue armor from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, which is awesome. While we're on the topic of armor and health, another big difference between the two game modes is that there is only one healing item. In traditional Battle Royale, in this game, there are 5 healing items, right? You've got syringes and med kits, you've got cells and batteries, and you've got Phoenix kits. In Wildcard, you just get cells. That's it. You don't have to worry about finding batteries. Do I use a battery? Do I use a cell? Do I charge up with my cells? None of that. You just get cells, and that is it. They charge 25 shield per use. Standard 1.5 second cast time is what I believe it is. But that's it. You just have to worry about that. Your health, on the other hand, regens completely on its own. That's a big difference. Is that in normal Battle Royale, you get your health back with syringes and med kits. In Wildcard, once you've been out of combat for 5 seconds, your health will start to regen and it will come back very, very quickly. So that's one less thing for you to manage as well. The next big difference between the two game modes is legend stacking. In traditional Battle Royale, once you've selected a legend, that's it. No one else can play that legend. That is not the case in Wildcard. In Wildcard, you can have any number of players can play any legend that you want. So you can do crazy weird things like triple stacking caustic, so everyone just starts throwing toxic barrels everywhere. It gets crazy and chaotic. Maybe there are some folks out there that remember Overwatch 1 in the very beginning, and I'm talking about before roll queue. You used to be able to stack heroes. You would have 6 Winstons or whatever, everyone jumping on the point. It was crazy. And that's why they introduced roll queue and all of that. But in Wildcard, you can stack legends and do some pretty crazy fun stuff with it. The last thing that I'm going to talk about in this section is going to be the loot vacuum. There is no loot vacuum in traditional Battle Royale in Apex Legends. Every single thing that you see, you run over it. You can't just run over it, right? You have to put it into your inventory. You have to deliberately loot it. You have to go up to a death box and you have to loot it, etc. In Wildcard, the loot vacuum is here, man. If you've played Resurgence, again, Call of Duty, if you've played Fortnite, you know what the loot vacuum is. You just run over stuff and it just goes into your inventory and you don't even have to really think about it. It's the same thing in Wildcard. The things that do drop on the ground that do go into your inventory, such as ammo or grenades or your revive kit, all of that just goes into your inventory when you run over it. So you don't even have to loot anything really. It's done for you. Now that we've gone over the differences between the two different game modes, I want to talk about some mechanics that are specific to Wildcard. We already talked a little bit about looting in the last section, but I want to expand upon that a little bit more because there are loot containers in the game. You can open them and you can get loot. There are death boxes in the game. You can open someone's death box and you can get loot. But it's a little bit different. It's not quite as granular as it is in regular Battle Royale. So let's talk about the death box, for example. In regular Battle Royale, when you open up someone's death box, you see everything that they had. All their ammo, all their guns, all their heals, everything. In Wildcard, when you open someone's death box, the only thing you see are the guns that they were using and the optics that they had. That's it. So if you are happy with your loadout, if you got the guns that you want, you don't even have to open a death box. You could just keep playing. Or maybe you like your gray gun, but you killed someone and you see that their death box is blue. Well, that means they have something that's blue on there. Is it a 2x optic or is it a gun or is it a blue gun? Oh, it's a blue gun. Sweet, I just upgraded my weapon. That's really it. It's very, very simple. It's not complicated at all. The next mechanic I want to talk about that is specific toward Wildcard are Evo orbs. These orbs, or balls, or whatever you want to call them, they are only in this game mode. And there's a few different ways that you can get them. When you kill a player, the orbs drop on the ground. When you open up loot containers, there could be orbs inside of them. They are also found on the ground as well. You don't have to loot them. Like I said earlier, they have the loot vacuum. You just run over them. The Evo orbs in the game serve 3 functions. The first one is they level up your weapon. So as you use your gun and you kill players, the players will drop those orbs on the ground. They'll be blue early in the game. They'll be purple later in the game. When you run over the orb to pick it up, your gun will start to level up. And once you've gotten 500 charge or whatever the number is, then your gun will level up from gray to blue, which means you got all blue attachments now. So it's that's the first function of the orbs. The second function of the orbs is it can recharge your shields. So when you kill someone, you kind of want to run over to their body and just run over the orbs so you can get your shields back like really, really fast. It's a great way to just increase your survivability and to recharge your shield. So instead of having to be stuck for 7 seconds, which is an eternity in this game mode, recharging one cell at a time 3 times, you just run over their orbs. You just run over the orbs that you got, and you get like 50 of your shields back. It's really great. The last thing that the Evo orbs do, and I feel like players missed this somehow, like it's a mystery. I've had to tell players to do this in the game, and they don't know that this is a thing. But those orbs reduce the respawn timer of your teammates. So later in the game, when that respawn timer starts creeping up to like 20, 25, 30 seconds, if you run over orbs, that timer goes way, way down. If you find like a red orb, that will take like 10 seconds, 15 seconds off of a respawn timer for your teammates, so you can bring them back faster. I don't know why people don't know that, but that's like one of the main purposes of the orbs, is to bring your teammates back faster. The last mechanic I'm going to talk about in Wildcard is resurrecting players. So we already know that you respawn in this game mode as long as someone on your team is alive. But when you get knocked down, and you will get knocked down quite a bit in this game mode, there are 2 ways that you can get back on your feet. The first way is with your self-revive kit. When you get into the game, everyone starts out with a self-revive kit. When you get knocked down, you can press and hold your use key, and you will bring yourself back to life. Now, I want to be very clear, that doesn't happen very often. Other players generally do not let you do that. Like once they see you using your kit, they just shoot you and kill you, and then you start your respawn timer. But in certain rare circumstances, you can crawl away, find a corner maybe, and you can bring yourself back to life. In addition, your teammates can bring you back onto your feet just like in normal Battle Royale, except the amount of time that it takes is like 2 seconds. They can bring you back super, super, super fast, whereas in regular Battle Royale, it's like a 5 or a 6 second animation. That is not the case in Wildcard. In Wildcard, you're down, they just pick you right back up and you're right back at it. Now, when you get back onto your feet from, if your teammate brings you back, you start out with full health and no shield. If your revive kit goes off and you actually get yourself back on your feet, you start with 1 HP. So just try to keep that in mind. If you die, you drop that revive kit on the ground so somebody else can pick it up, or you can come back and pick up a revive kit as well. And I lied. I know I said there was only 3 mechanics that I wanted to talk about, but as I was recording this, I was like, oh wait, there is one more. And that mechanic is tapping out. In regular Battle Royale, you cannot tap out. You have to either wait for someone to bring you back to your feet, or the opponent will finish you off, and then you have to wait to be brought back into the game. In Wildcard, you have the ability to tap out. So if you don't think your teammate is going to be able to get you back on your feet, you can tap out and just start your respawn timer. This is generally something I recommend doing, because the quicker you tap out, the quicker your respawn timer will start, and the faster you'll get back into the game. By not tapping out early and by gambling on your player that's alive to win their gunfight and not die can be very risky. You can end up losing the game that way. So I always tell people that are looking for a res, like, dude, just tap out, start your respawn timer, you'll be back in 5 seconds, it's probably faster anyway, and you start back with full health and full shield. So tapping out is a mechanic that you should be aware of, and you should be using it. That's going to do it for this video. To conclude, Wildcard game mode is great for people that never really got into traditional Battle Royale. It's great for people that want to practice their aim and their movement, and also for people that want to get more experience with the guns. If you just want to get into the action and you just want to frag out, I recommend giving this mode a try. I don't think that you'll regret it. In the next video, I'm going to record a Wildcard game, and I'm going to talk through how to play the game mode, what I think is the best way to play. I'll give some tips and tricks so when you get into the game mode, maybe you don't have to go, you don't have to stumble in the beginning like I did. Maybe I'll give you a little bit of a head start, but please look forward to that video. I hope you found this one helpful and useful. If you did, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button. And yeah, enjoy Wildcard. I'll see you in the next one.